Greetings and welcome. I'm Dr. Darren Green, and we are at the Mind Matters Summit of 2025, and I'm in the Cipla Health Matters studio today. And how privileged I am to be joined by some incredible legends in the game of neuroscience and wellness. And I'm accompanied in the studio by none other than Dr. Andreea Vanacker. Welcome to you.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure.
How was the flight in?
Very long.
Very long.
But I made it. That's the essential thing.
You made it. You look like you've acclimatized already and
100%.
have a good few days.
Yes.
Well, I'm very excited to unpack your topic today. Mm-hmm. The word gratitude is on so many people's lips. And I feel on social media platforms, in dialogues, even in schools with youngsters, people are becoming much more aware of what gratitude is and why it's so important. So bringing it back to you and your personal journey, I want to know what led you to the place where you decided to focus specifically on gratitude and awe in your personal journey.
Yes. Well, the journey has been very complex. I actually call it an adventure.
Because yes, it was an adventure. It's an adventure.
It's still an adventure. Yes. That has just been amplified with all the various experiences. But I would say that really in the last 5 years, I've undergone 2 brain operations or interventions that have truly shifted my view on life and what's most important.
Why did you have to have those operations?
So the first operation happened in 2020, where they identified that I had a brain tumor actually right here. And my neurosurgeon still is telling me today, Andreea, yes, you are the healthiest person we have ever operated on. Because they could find no medical reason for the brain tumor. And as you know, the reality that, there's over 100 types of brain tumors you can have. Mine, luckily, was benign and accessible for operation.
Incredible.
Yes,
Wow.
but we still do not know the true reason behind why tumors emerge in the brain.
In people that live healthy lives and that look healthy, completely healthy.
Exactly, and this is what was happening.
Yes.
My tumor was actually growing for over 10 years.
Without knowing about it.
Exactly.
Wow.
And I have brain scans to prove that. This is what's crazy. And the doctors missed it.
Initially, they missed it?
Yes.
And then it carried on growing over 10 years?
Exactly.
Wow.
And then, as I'm doing these regular procedures, as you know, just to check up, is everything okay? And they're always checking here. When I was getting close to my 3rd year anniversary after that first surgery, they identified a brain aneurysm that actually had also been missed through the scans more than 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And what they realized is that both the tumor and the aneurysm had been growing, and both had gone like so big, and even the aneurysm had surpassed a threshold where your probability that it would rupture and create a stroke or brain hemorrhage was much, much higher.
Yes.
So, as you can imagine, I basically, rather than celebrating my 3 years since my first operation,
let's deal with this one.
Let's deal with this one and let's deal with it as soon as possible. Because when I learned what happens when an aneurysm erupts and how little time we have to be in good medical hands to increase our probability of survival and to make sure we don't have any long-term
permanent
damage.
Disability.
Exactly.
Correct, 100%. And that's when you had your second surgery then, after discovering this aneurysm.
Exactly.
And how did the progression work from those 2 experiences? I mean, you must have had just a new lease on life. Firstly, for discovering them in operable time. And secondly, being able to get to and rethink, what do I do with the rest of my life now? I'm sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it's been on my mind. And what was really interesting is that even going through the first surgery, I was just so attached to this identity that individuals had given me.
Wow.
So it was the outer world saying, Andreea is a superwoman. Oh my God, you've written so many books. Oh my God, you're doing all these amazing things.
Yes.
How is it possible? You have a family, you have kids, you have a husband. What's going on? How do you do it? What's your secret? And I was attached to this image of this superwoman, and I felt that, oh my God, if they
it's getting heavy, wasn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what happened basically in the process of the preparation for the brain tumor, I had to really detach myself and almost let go of this image that others had defined me as, to really almost allow a new Andreea to be reborn.
You had to get to know yourself again.
Yes.
Through the eyes
Yes.
of Andreea and not the eyes and expectations of the world.
Indeed.
Wow.
And this is when I came to realize that we pay so much attention to things that we think are important.
Yes.
The images, the labels that other people give us.
Yes.
And in fact, the only thing that truly matters in life is joy. That's what I learned from the first operation. And it brought me to the sense of realization that we have to be grateful for everything that emerges in life, even the toughest moments, my brain operation.
Wow,
we have to feel gratitude for that rather than be in denial and reject what life has brought on our journey.
Yes.
And that's why I really paid so much attention to the component of joy and gratitude, because in the process, what I also learned is that, as you know, our brain does not have a capacity to have a fearful thought or an angry thought and a grateful thought.
Yes.
So whenever we're faced with any sort of uncertainty or challenge or failure, if we're able actually to just switch our focus and really just have a thought of gratitude, and it could be something little, maybe
small,
something small. It's a beautiful sunny day out there. Or
the air I breathe, my lungs are working.
Exactly, I'm breathing. I was able to kiss my family today and the kids. Do you see what I mean? And see them, joyfully leaving for school. For me, as soon as we can embrace more gratitude every single day, it actually reshapes our brain.
And rewiring the brain.
Yes.
I mean, isn't that powerful?
Yes, this is what's phenomenal. So the more we practice gratitude, in fact, what I started doing is that every time I would take a sip of water, I would have a grateful thought. Because the more we attached a new habit to something that we do repeatedly every single day, the more that habit becomes easier to pursue and implement.
Absolutely.
Yes.
But in a world that is just so full with distractions and negativity, how do you bring yourself back? And what were some of the practical tools that you managed to implement to help bring you back to a place of sincere gratitude?
So it starts with, first of all, embracing the uncertainty of life. That often we think we're going to be embarking on a journey and it's going to be all, fantastic and wonderful. But the reality is that sometimes do not turn, life just brings many surprises along the way.
Your adventure.
Yes, exactly. New adventures. And we resist those realities that emerge. And when we realize that there are certain things that happen in our lives that we can no longer control, like I could not take away the tumor, and you see what I mean? It was just something where I needed to reach a state of acceptance of what has emerged in my life. And through that acceptance, you can now reach a point of gratitude rather than resist it and fight it. Wow. And that brings you to a mindset that is more empowering and can allow you now to focus on growing, on evolving, and learning from something that you have just exactly experienced.
Wow.
And there's even science behind it that shows that if something bad emerges in our lives, we have a choice to look at it as something that would threaten our survival. And even at the level of the heart and the blood pumping, and even the telomeres that actually define our
aging as well.
Our aging, exactly. Telomeres actually shrink. But if we switch our mind from something that is going to be threatening our survival to something that will actually allow us to learn, to grow, and evolve, actually biologically, it's a completely different ball game, and the telomeres actually start increasing rather than decreasing and shrinking. That
physical changes happen. How powerful is that?
Exactly. So our mindset changes completely how we then look at life, look at challenges that emerge, and then we have a clear mind to pursue a path that is more constructive rather than destructive.
So how do you, I mean, you've worked with so many different people across different platforms. How do you encourage people that are really under pressure, some of them corporate giants, some of them elite sports people? How do you incorporate gratitude into their leadership styles?
So the first thing we need to understand that, particularly if we're speaking about emotions, that there's a spectrum of emotions. And when we're connecting the dimensions of leadership, we need to ask ourselves, am I a positive leader? Am I an encouraging and empowering leader that really allows others to thrive? And within an organizational setting, we can either have cultures that are filled with more positive emotions like joy, trust, gratitude, belonging. And we can also have cultures that are more on the other spectrum that are filled more with fear, with anger, resentment. And what happens at the level of our brains is something completely different. In the last scenario, when we're in the state of fear and anger, the emotions basically and that you feel are actually activating the stress hormones, cortisol. Well, if you're actually on the opposite spectrum of joy and gratitude and trust, you're actually experiencing oxytocin.
Reward system.
Exactly,
and bonding.
And then you have in the middle the emotion that is a potentiator, that is surprise. If you have a good surprise, it pushes you on the positive side, and if you have a negative surprise, on the other. So as leaders, we have a responsibility to either activate those positive emotions that are actually attachment emotions that allow individuals to feel the sense of belonging, that actually there's something magical at the level of the brain. Because when individuals operate at that level, and leaders as well, this is where we can tap into their highest level of creativity, productivity, and resilience. And it has been proven extensively. So if we are missing the boat as a leader, and if we're not paying attention to bringing more joy and gratitude within the organizations, you're actually missing out on the potential of every single individual that you may have in that team.
Absolutely. And we need to educate our leaders and our executives to actually onboard this beautiful neuroscience that we have that we can apply to our systems, can't we? So, I mean, what excites you at the moment, and what are you looking forward to most in this chapter?
So every day is an adventure. There's many opportunities and ideas that I'm currently exploring. And it's really interesting because, as I said, in the last 5 years, because I've had 2 brain interventions, I was literally projecting myself and planning things within a 6 to 12 months time frame. It was almost as if I was unable to project myself into the future. But because I'll be celebrating in October 2 years since my second brain intervention to protect the aneurysm so it doesn't turn into a stroke, I've now decided to project myself far beyond this time frame.
Amazing,
And I tell my kids that I've decided I will become a grandmother. So many years ahead, basically, that can allow me to cherish life every day and explore new adventures and embark on new opportunities, possibly writing another book. I'm looking at consolidating all the pieces that we've been building around 1 million years of joy to do a documentary on joy.
Amazing.
And there's more to come that I'll be sharing.
I'm so excited about your adventurous journey. And I mean, as a closing thought to leave with some of the listeners, if you could advocate for one simple act or practical tool of gratitude that they can incorporate every day, what would that be?
So first, I would say that we need to understand that our brains are wired to keep us safe and to ensure our survival.
Primarily.
And not to make us happy. So we need to make a conscious choice that we need to find the small pockets of joy in every single moment. We need to wake up and feel a sense of awe and gratitude for being alive and looking forward to some exciting things that will emerge. And then as we fall asleep, once again, we need to count our blessings. We need to focus on what brought us joy and what am I truly happy that I had this opportunity and chance to go through. So like that, as you fall asleep, your biological everyday energy is actually converted into something positive. So start your day and finish your day with something that allows you to be grateful and experience more awe and joy every day.
That excites me very much.
Wonderful.
Thank you for sharing it's been an incredible adventure for you over the past few decades, but for being willing to put some of the iconic points together for us in this podcast. We appreciate you, and good luck with that next book.
Thank you.
And being a grandmother. Enjoy it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And thanks for joining us.